Hello and welcome to the tinyhumanknits podcast, my podcast about knitting, sewing, crochet, cross-stitch, and all manner of crafty goodness. My name is Laura and I'm coming to you from High Level, Alberta, Canada, where I live with my husband and our pet cat and our little bunny Oscar. And you can find me online as tinyhumanknits on Instagram and Ravelry, and I also have an Etsy shop of the same name, and there's also a Ravelry group for the podcast. You can just search Tiny Humanknits podcast in the groups tab, or all the links for everything are down below in the description box. I'm just going to start off by saying I don't know how well the lighting is going to do. It's near midday and it's still pretty dark outside. I mean, this is my fault for recording on the 21st of December, which is the shortest day of the year over here, and it's pretty cloudy, so that's probably not helping. But yeah, we've got a couple things going on in the Ravelry group right now. It's the last pretty much week and a half of the Sweater Weather Cal, which has been going on since August 1st. So if you're unsure of what that is, it's just a knit a sweater between August 1st and December 31st. As long as it wasn't more than 50% completed by the time it started, then you can enter it. So if you have not yet entered your sweaters, do so in the thread for that, and you can be entered to win prizes. And I'll be drawing the grand prize in the new year. And I also have a 1,000 subscriber giveaway going on in the thread, or in the Ravelry group as well, for YouTube. And the prize for that, I'll be drawing that next podcast as well, I think. The prize for that is this bag here. I'm going to fill it with minis, and I thought I would do a preview for you guys of the minis. So I have collected, so far, this bunch. And all but 2 of these are my own hand-dyed yarn. So you're getting a proper sampling of some Tiny Humanknits yarn stuff. But yeah. And I'm going to try, I don't have anything smaller than 10 grams, and I think actually all of these are 20. So it's going to be pretty much 20 grams, and then I might have a few that are about 10 grams thrown in there as well. So you can enter for that still, it's still valid. So I will put a link down below for that, just so it can bring you straight to it. And yeah, I think that's all administratively, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I had anything else to talk about. No, I don't think so. But yeah, I am also doing Vlogmas, which is the daily video for like daily life stuff. It's pretty boring, but you can find that on my YouTube channel as well. But yeah, it's 4 days till Christmas. We're having our family gathering for my husband's family in 2 days. So I have everything finished for that. Everything for that is done. So I think I might just jump right into what I'm wearing / finished objects. I have 6 finished objects today, and what I'm wearing is one of them, so I might as well talk about that right away. So I am wearing my finished Christmas chuck. It is the Chuck pattern by Andy Satterland, and it is really warm and really ridiculous. So I will stand up and show you. I'm not really wearing an appropriate bottom for it, but so I knit this out of Patons Classic Wool. It's emerald, red, and cream, I believe. It's just some old stash that I had from working at Michael's. And I knit the sleeves a little bit shorter because I ran out of the green and I didn't want to do the red and white for too long. But it's top down, and I goofed up the cable at the top, so I put this nice shiny brooch on there. And yeah, I just did a 1x1 multicolored rib, which it's funny because the pattern does call for a 1x1 rib, but I tried, I think first on the first sleeve, I tried doing a 1x1 rib in the green, and it looked terrible. The gauge was bad. So actually doing a 1x1 rib in 2 colors did tighten it up and make it look more even and nice. But yeah, so this was finished shortly after my last podcast, actually. So yeah. My second finished object is actually my pavement sweater. It was knit in Knit Picks Stroll Tweed in the, not Down Heather, I can't remember. I'll post a picture of it. But I finished that off pretty much at the same time I finished the chuck, and I already mailed that to my mother, which she has gotten it. Thank heavens, because I was worried. I actually procrastinated mailing it for quite a while, but she got it, so all is well. So that's all I can really mention with that. It's done. My my third finished object. I hope I'm not blasting through this. I don't want to spend too much time talking about everything, but I've got Christmas presents to knit, you know? So my my third finished object is the Christmas pair of socks that I was working on. I think last time I had just started the second sock. So I have got them. Here. So these are knit out of Knit Picks Stroll, their Glimmer base. And it's toe up, stockinette, gusset, heel turn, basic, and a 1x1 rib at the top. And I love them. These are for my cousin Jennifer. It's part of her Christmas gift. There's also the other pair of the spiraling, like swirly blue and pink and purple socks that she had dyed the yarn for, so she's getting 2 pairs of socks. And yeah, I really like these. I have the yarn to make myself a pair, but I just don't have time this year, so I think I'll save it for next year. And Stroll is soft. Stroll is probably one of my favorite sock yarns, although I've come to learn that one of my favorite pairs of socks to wear that I've made for myself are made out of Croy, Patons Croy. I like the feel of woolly socks, so I feel like I should make myself some more, although I do have a ton of sock yarn, so I will be fine. But yeah, I'll be giving these to her on Saturday as well, because I'll be visiting her for coffee and chat before I have to deal with being surrounded by tiny children, so that'll be nice. But yeah, that is my third finished object. I have a lot of Christmas gifts in this. My fourth finished object is a Sockhead hat, and I will link all the patterns, if there is a pattern, just down below as well. So I made a Sockhead hat, and I made this out of Woolberry Fibre Co. in the Manuka Blossom colorway, and I've had this in my stash for quite a while, and I really love this. I made this, it's not really my colors, I will admit, but I made this because my husband got his little sister in their gift exchange, name exchange, because their family is too big to buy something for everybody. So he got her, and I asked him what he would get her, and he said whatever you make for her, which I actually have come to the realization is really annoying because he's put no effort into getting her anything. So it's pretty much I have 2 names, but that's besides the point. Anyway, I made her an Anders on top hat before. It's already done. I'll be giving her that one as well, but it wasn't pretty enough for me. I don't know if that's weird or anything, but it was just too, I wasn't 100% pleased with it. So I decided I would make her something that she could wear when it was a little bit warmer, and she is pretty pale. She's got pale eyes, and right now she has blonde hair. She has naturally blonde hair, but she does it dark a lot. But she has blonde hair right now. My kitty's trying to get in here. And I just feel like these colors with her complexion will go really well. So I can't remember what size needle I knit this on. I'm so useless. But I love how it knit up. It's really pretty. Plus, it's just, Bethany's colors are so gorgeous. I really, really like them. And now that I've knit one of her colors, I'm really excited to knit the other ones because I have like 4 skeins. I also have her mini skein set, which I don't know, I've got the sort of hung up as a garland. Not a mini skein set, sorry, it's the advent calendar. And then I got the one with the full skein as well, so I should make something out of them because their colors are gorgeous. I love her speckling. But that is finished object number 5. Is that 5 or 4? That's 4. Okay, so my 5th finished object is a pair of socks for my husband for Christmas, which have been blocked and are beautiful. I love blocking, it's so pretty. So these are made out of Turtlepurl Yarns. This is in her trenchcoat colorway, and I did a German short row heel for the first time, and I knit this out of my own hand-dyed yarn. This is the Stormy colorway, and I did Mina Phillips' German short row that she has in her patterns with the slight, with the mini gusset. So I increased 3 stitches before doing the heel and then decreased them after the heel, which I think is going to help a lot with the stretching. And also I did the garter heel. So you knit every row instead of purling the wrong side, which I really like. I think I'm going to have to make myself a pair with this heel because I think it would be so squishy on your heel. And personally, I do put a lot of pressure on my heels. My husband doesn't. He puts a lot of pressure on his toe. He always gets holes in his socks right about here, which I really should start knitting the toe and then doing like a reinforced section right after the toe, probably about the same width as this here. I really should start doing that. But anyway, so I finished these the day before yesterday. And this is the 3rd pair of socks that I've knit for him for Christmas, and I've got his 4th pair on the needles, so it should be a good, I feel like that's a good amount for Christmas gifts, because we couldn't really afford to get each other anything this year. So, oh, also, this pair of socks I knit on a 2mm needle instead of my regular 2.5, or 2.25, sorry. I never knit on 2.5. So I made these on a 2mm and I did 72 stitches instead of my usual 64 for him, because the yarn, while I was winding it up, I noticed it was really thin compared to my other yarns. And for this, then the yarn that I used for the heel is a regular sort of fingering weight thickness. So I did them on a 2.25, so it just gives even a little bit extra room in the heel, but I really like that. And if this works, I might actually start doing sport weight yarn for the heel instead of fingering weight, just to give it a little bit extra room and plushness. But we'll see how these fit first, because I actually haven't tried them on him and I don't even know if it's going to fit, which is pretty funny because the next pair of socks I made for him I also put in a German short row heel. But you live and you learn, right? If these don't fit, whatever. It'll just be house socks for me, I guess. But that is finished object number 5. I want to just, they're so soft. If you haven't tried Turtlepurl Yarns, they're A, gorgeous, and B, ridiculously soft, and they match perfectly, and it makes me so happy. There's something very pleasing, especially when it's like patterns like this. If it's patterns that are like just thin stripes of the same repeating colors, then it's not as big of a deal for me to match them, but this I wanted to match perfectly, and they do, which makes me very happy. Okay, so my 6th finished object is, lo and behold, another pair of socks. These are for my mother-in-law for Christmas, because I didn't want to make her anything else. She's the type of person where, you know, socks or sewn things are usually a pretty good bet. She likes handmade items. So I made her a pair of vanilla socks. And this is out of the West Yorkshire spinners in the hollyberry colorway that I got from Rosie of Pixel Atlantis. She sent me this a couple weeks ago, and they are super cute. I was planning on making her a pair of Christmas socks regardless, but I had the choice between a couple skeins of yarn that I have in my stash already, or the hollyberry or the candy cane. And I thought for my mother-in-law, she's a pretty conservative lady, I decided that this colorway would probably be more appropriate. But for these, I did a basic Judy's Magic cast on heel. I did 56 stitches, and I did for these an afterthought heel, and I'm really pleased with it. It's probably the smoothest afterthought heel I've ever done. And I did the cut-in afterthought heel, like the true afterthought, so it wasn't on a waist yarn at all. And for these, I did a 2x2 rib just because I personally like a 1x1 twisted rib, but for some patterned yarns, it looks a little bit weird. So a 2x2 rib is a little bit more traditional. Yeah, we'll go with that. And they softened up so much after washing. I'm really excited. I haven't checked to see how much yarn I have left out of the ball, because I have done, with the afterthought heel, it is quite a bit longer than I usually do my socks. They're not for me though, so it doesn't really matter. So I don't know if I have enough to make myself a pair, but I also know that my husband's cousin, I posted these on Instagram, and she wants a pair so badly, so we'll see how much I have left. Because it's not like I need all the socks that my sock yarn stash will make. Those are my finished objects. That's a lot of talking. Pardon me a moment. It's a lot of finished objects, I know. But that's what Christmas does, right? And now that I've shown them all to you, I can wrap them. My Christmas tree has been looking really sad because there's nothing under there. There's a couple presents my mom sent for us under the tree, and then I have two presents that I've wrapped for other people. So there's nothing really under there. But now I can. So that's probably what I'll be doing later today as well, except for my husband's present, because that's not done yet. And that moves us on into works in progress. My first work in progress is the 4th pair of socks. And I'm actually making really good time on these. I'm making them out of StrayCatSocks. StrayCatSocks. And this is, I bought it off Etsy. They're in New Zealand. And this is the Luigi colorway. I've had this for quite a while. And I've been meaning to knit it up for quite a while. But I started before, and I think I had too many stitches. I think I was doing a 68 stitch. And just looking at it, I knew it was going to be too big. So it stayed on the needles for quite a while because I started making other stuff. But now that I'm done everything else, I pulled out what I had worked before and restarted it. And I am now to the point where I'm just past the heel. Let me just organize myself here. So that's how it's knitting up, and I really like the size of these stripes too. And I've got the heel in. I did the same garter German short row. And the heel color is my page 394, and I picked that because it's got pretty much the same colors, all the same colors as the stripes, but it's just a speckle instead of a stripe, so it matches really well. I think you could see that. So I'm hoping to have the first sock at least done today. I would like to have the second sock cast on, but we will see if anything gets in the way of today. But it's moving really fast. Mostly I think because the 3 sort of brown shades, the cream and brown shades, I knit through those pretty quickly in the attempt to get to the next blue stripe. So it's actually moving pretty fast. So I should have this done by today, hopefully, because I only have 3 more days after this day to finish and get it all wrapped up. But I'm really enjoying it. I also have a ball of yarn for socks for myself out of the same brand. I think I got mine in the mauve. I'm pretty sure it's beautiful. I'm really excited to start that. But that'll be a New Year thing, I think. But it makes me excited because the way the yarn feels too, it's got good rhythm when you're knitting with it. I find some yarns can be rather clunky for me, where my fingers don't really know what they're doing just because the yarn's a bit off. But this yarn has really nice rhythm. The second project that I'm working on is the Kiria Cove shawl by Tamy Gore. And that is, it's just a black and white photo. You probably won't even be able to see it very well. But it's just a crescent shaped shawl, kind of. It's like half, I don't know, it's an asymmetrical crescent. Anyway, it's gorgeous. And I am knitting it out of 2 of my own hand-dyed yarns. I'm knitting it in Victoria and my new hand-dyed yarn, which is Lulu. And this doesn't really show it very, very well, but after I've worked on this for a bit, it's going to be beautiful. This is probably my favorite color that I've ever dyed. Ever. So I've only got a little way through. I just started it yesterday, I think. So I'm just on the sort of first garter section. And I'm really enjoying it. I love starting with 3 stitches. It always feels so productive. You move so quickly through. I'm just going to slow down real quick here. But it's just garter rows. There's 1 eyelet row so far. And it's really fun, mostly because I really like this color. Picking yarns that you like in the colors that you like is very important when you're knitting, because if you don't love what you're knitting, it's going to take you a real long time. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about that, just because it's pretty new for a cast on. There isn't much to talk about yet, although I'm really excited to get to the contrast color because it's gorgeous. It's my favorite. But yeah, I've been a fan of Tamy Gore's patterns for quite a while. I have 3 in my library, and I've got a couple other ones favorited. But this is the first time I've actually got a chance, just because I've been so busy with knitting things for other people. And I'm really looking forward to it. And this is actually, I've got a mini skein here of Lulu. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see the colors. I'm not sure how the lighting is doing. But I dyed this for a mini skein set that I released a few days ago. But my third work in progress, I haven't cast it on yet, but I will have it cast on by next podcast, so I might as well talk about it. I am making a So Faded by Andrea Mowry out of predominantly yarning apart yarns. And I don't have a ball winder. I'm pretty sure I've complained about this to everybody. I don't have a ball winder because it's broken. So I had to hand wind all of the colors for it. I think it is Spilled Ink, House Sparrow Wet Speckle, House Sparrow Dust Light, and then I've got Bee's Knees, which the way I wound it up, you can't really see the yellow speckles, but there are like golden yellow speckles in there. And then for an extra one, because I'm going to do 2 versions, one fading one way and one fading the other. And I know you're only supposed to use like 3 or 5 skeins, but I might use 6 for a long sleeve version. I've got my own Wild Lettuce, which is a new color. So I want to cast that on before the end of the year, which I think I should have time. And I'm holding that all in my flowery bag. But I really want one because yarning part is delectable. They're my favorite. Always and forever. I love their colors. But yeah, those are what I'm working on. I have a lot of other stuff that I need to get done soon-ish. I would like to get it done as soon as possible, but I want to make a few things for myself, which is going to be another, like, it's going to be, I think my New Year's resolution for this coming year is going to be to make more things for myself. I had a post on Instagram a couple days ago about my 2018 sweater plans. It's 8 sweaters for myself and 1 sweater for my husband. That's not even all the sweaters that I want to make next year, but I hope I can get at least like 5 garments for myself, because this year I think I finished 13 sweaters this year so far, and maybe 4 of them were for me. I can't even remember, but I need to make more for myself. I need to stop knitting for other people, because like I knit them to sell, but you don't make any money after you buy the yarn and the amount of effort it takes. It's not really a profit thing. So if I really like someone, making them a sweater is no problem at all. And most of the time it's just like, it's a gift from me to you. But I get a lot of requests for sweaters, and it's time consuming and it eats up my personal knitting time. So maybe this year I'm going to try to knit more for myself. But speaking of knitting more sweaters for myself, I can move into acquisitions, because I'm in a Knit Picks order for 3 sweater quantities. I say sweater, my husband would argue top, whatever. But I knit, it's all stroll fingering, and because I love stroll fingering, even like for garments, it's great. And fingering with garments is so great because you don't really have to buy that much to make something. But the first color I bought was mint. It's this here, and I bought this to make myself another tegna in this color. So that was my first one. And I also have 5 skeins of firecracker heather, and I think this is going to be another pavement. I'm not entirely sure. I have to look at all the fingering weight sweater projects, but the pavement sweater is superb and it fits me great. But I actually bought 2 5 skein sets of firecracker heather and persimmon heather, and persimmon is a tweed, and I bought these technically both to make a pavement. I might change my mind. That's what I initially bought it for, but I have enough to make something else. I know for a fact that my other pavement sweater only took like 220 grams maybe, and I have 250 of each of these, so I could make something that had maybe slightly longer sleeves or something of that nature. But we will see. All I know is that I love this yarn and it knits up great. And it's, you know, it's washable. Not that I ever put any of my stuff in the washer. That makes me nervous. I have one other acquisition. I have been trying to pare down my yarn buying a little bit just because I have too much. I was actually organizing a little bit of my yarn stash the other day, and I have so many sweater quantities, it's ridiculous. But during a Black Friday sale, I picked myself up some dark wave fibres on Etsy because her yarns are gorgeous. And I actually took the labels off already because I was going to wind them up for a Christmas Eve cast on, but I just, no. So that's why they don't have any labels. But they come in 50 gram skeins. This one is Honey and this one is Cameo. I love that. And they need to stay together. So I'm going to make a pair of socks. I'm thinking something with cables. And this is going to be the heel, toe, and cuff. And then this is going to be the body of the sock. And I think they're going to be delectable. They are gorgeous. I'm so excited. They're a high twist, so they're going to be nice and sturdy. And they're beautiful. I really love them. They're so pretty. And I got these on my husband and I's 2nd year anniversary. We went and checked the mail and they were there, so it was sort of like an inadvertent anniversary gift to myself, which, good job me. Because we don't do anniversary gifts. Anniversary doesn't really mean much to me. But that's neither here nor there. So those are my acquisitions. I do have a little bit more yarn coming in the mail from gifts, but I haven't gotten that yet because our mail is slow. Very, very slow. But I do have a tiny tidbit of shop news. I'm going to be having a Boxing Day sale, just so everybody knows. And currently all of my Christmas themed products are 20% off, I believe. I think I did 20% off. And on Boxing Day, there will be a little bit more. So if you want to wait till then, that's perfectly fine. But I have added 2 mini skein sets. I've got 4, I think 4 of each left. But I have got Warm Spring, which are warm, half tonals, half speckles. So I've got Old Victoria, Wild Lettuce. This one comes with Lulu, Millennial Green, and Tealistry. So it's nice warm colors. I'm really happy with these. And I also have Cool Winter, which are more cool colors. So this one comes with Taro, that's just great, Country Frost, Stormy, and this one has Sugar Cookie. So if you'd like a 20-gram sugar cookie, that's where you can find it. Sorry, it's getting really warm in here. The sweater is toasty. But those are the only new additions I have. I will have more Knit Notions pouches going into the shop in January, just neutral ones. So if you have been wanting one of those, you can look out for that. I'm also considering doing a custom listing page for the Knit Notion so you can pick your own colors. But I will see. If you have any interest in that, please let me know. But I have not much else to talk about. I've only been knitting for Christmas presents, and wrapping is what I'm going to do today. So I don't really have any like blather going on here. So I have a lot of knitting to do, and I need to do a lot of housework because that's been slacking. So I will let you all go, and I hope you all are enjoying your Christmas preparations. I will have one more episode before the end of the year, I think, to showcase some of my best projects of the year. So I will see you all next time, and I hope you're all having a wonderful holiday season. Bye!